Hey guys, this is Rurouni K95 here, and once again, it is time for my VHS Blu Ray comparison for this Halloween season. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the VHS Blu Ray comparison on the original Vampire Hunter D. These two right here, which is something that I haven't thought of one. Well, which I forgot to do one until now. Even though, because I wanted to do this video, particularly in the spirit of Halloween is coming up, though. That's the thing, though. And I'm going to be talking about the differences between the VHS and the Blu-ray that I just upgraded as well. Because that's a good, proper way to have a upgrade to the Blu-ray, though, as well. So let's dive right into this. Vampire Hunter D VHS Blu-ray comparison. Today, on the Physical Media Video Library series. Welcome back. And another video that I have here, just in case, about 6 more days until Halloween, is that I wanted to do a video like this, which I haven't thought of something doing one, which I wanted to do something, I have thought of one, despite that I have finally get to do the Blu-ray upgrade thing as well. We'll just get in that in just a moment as well, particularly. So what am I doing, basically, for today's video? We're going to be taking a look at something. We have here is the VHS and Blu-ray comparison of Vampire Hunter D. And you know what this is, basically. This has the both versions on there, which I'm going to be talking about both the VHS old edition on VHS and the new edition of Vampire Hunter D that I just recently upgraded to the Blu-ray as well. So, as well. Yep. Could have that as for my thumbnail, huh? Okay, yeah. So, the first year I'm going to start off with as well, I'm going to be talking about the VHS copy of this one. Particularly, though, of Vampire Hunter D on here. This is basically based on the novels by Hideyuki Kikuchi on here. Some of the music was done by TM Network, that recently worked on Heart of the Swords for the ending theme song for the second season of Rurouni Kenshin. Is that it's gotten to this part as well, although this is basically the version on this VHS here, and this one I have is basically the old Orion home video release on here. Sorry about that on here. Yeah, for the VHS on there. Yeah, basically the old edition of Vampire Hunter D on VHS. I believe this is basically the old Orion home video release on here. And this one has the old English dub from Streamline Pictures on here. Yeah, so this basically what it does is that of how I wanted to come by on this one as well, for how I wanted to discover this one. Yeah, this movie on there is basically done how the English dub version of this movie under Streamline Pictures is directed by Carl Macek, who recently worked on Robotech as well. And yes, this is an English dub over a Japanese anime that was released on December 21st, 1985, when it was first originally came out in Japan in the 80s as well. I mean, we all know the synopsis. Well, the synopsis in the Vampire Hunter D explains about how the Earth was plagued by vampires who rule over a small pockets of civilization in a mockery of an ancient feudal land baronies, of how it sets in the year 12,190 AD as well, of how these arrogant immortals wanted to have their helpness, of how these victims challenged by the mysterious vampire hunter who is called D, alongside with a beautiful young villager named Doris who wanted to promise to herself, of how this hunter is in exchange for the education of these local vampires headed by the evil Count Magnus Lee. When D wanted to came on to his plans into action, when Magnus Lee kidnaps the girl. Now this is up to D wanted to fight those through these horde of demons and supernatural assassins in order to rescue the girl and put an end to the tyranny of Magnus Lee. Well, we all know the synopsis is about as well. And this basically is becoming an animated cult classic, though, as how I can understand why, though. There's some combination of horror and science fiction as well. For the sophisticated horror film with Japanese animation, or what's called anime, though, there's some bizarre imagery and characters as well. Yeah, this is directed by Toyo Ishida, who recently worked on Fist of the North Star, the anime movie one. Of course, though, is that it's gotten to the point, though, is that this has come by, particularly of how it seems, though, of how you wanted to expect of how they made this movie, though. And the character design was done by Yoshitaka Amano, who worked on the Final Fantasy as well. And if you look at the VHS of the Vampire Hunter D on here, this is the old ink label on here from our Orion Home Video. I'm not sure if I can find the print date on this tape on here. Maybe April 9th, the 1st, 1995. Yeah, this may be, if I'm not mistaken, in the ink label on this VHS. If you ever have this on VHS as well. Quite frankly, though, this has the Not for Kids sticker label right there, if you didn't notice on there. Well, basically of how I wanted to come by. However, this one also did got a DVD release by Urban Vision Entertainment, with the old English dub from Streamline Pictures included on there, if you have it on DVD as well. And of course, I had to upgrade to the Blu-ray. It's the same artwork as the VHS on here, in case you're wondering why. Because the Blu-ray edition has the new English dub from Streamline. No, Sentai Filmworks. Yeah, the Blu-ray I have, I think that has. Sorry. The Blu-ray release on here has the new English dub from Streamline. No, Sentai Filmworks. Yeah. And this also includes the original Japanese trailer, and this has the special edition of how it's highly digitally remastered in high definition quality. And the thing is that it seems to basically how you wouldn't know of how I could come by on this. Just to consider the fact of how I wanted to realize this. This is all digitally remastered, and I think this has the better quality on the Blu-ray than it was to the DVD, the VHS, how it was. And yes, this was based on the series of novels by Hideyuki Kikuchi on here. And Didn't you notice that this was also adapted from the first novel, if I'm not mistaken? Let me see, where's the novel? I think that's right up in my anime collection, right where you can see on top of my bookcases. And if I'm not mistaken, though. Oh, sorry, there was going to be a little sunrise, though. Yeah. Here is the novel, which I'm going to showcase it to you, though. Especially if you were going to start reading on the novel. Yes. This is the novel which inspired by the anime film. Yeah, this one has been adapted from the novel. Yeah. I wanted to plan to read the novel, but one of these days I might read this and do a review on that novel. Yeah, because I've heard good things about this novel, which I think this has these 8 illustrations on there. In case you're wondering why, well, there's 8 of them in between those pages of the chapters. Especially in the light novel, though. Yeah, look how dark and look how gritty it looks in the illustrations on here. And I hope just to give it a little more grotesque as well. And didn't you notice that there is also the manga adaptation of the first Vampire Hunter D novel? Because Vampire Hunter D novels has been picked up and adapted into, like, particularly, like, the manga adaptation. Because just to consider how it all basically comes in surprises, though. Yeah. Okay. As well. But I haven't read the novel. Most of them have been adapted into, like, to the anime films on here. Like, the first volume of the novel, I think, has been adapted into the first Vampire Hunter D movie. Like, this one. Well, because that's from what I heard, is that this has been adapted from the novel, though, in case you're wondering why as well. Of how I wanted to come by for how you would expect and realize, though. And on top of this, though, is that just to consider the fact of how I wanted to do this one as particularly, although the third novel of the Vampire Hunter D novel, I think it's also adapted into the film Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust as well, which I think Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust is the follow-up to the original Vampire Hunter D movie. But overall, I had to upgrade this to the Blu-ray, though, because I have a good proper upgrade to have this on Blu-ray as well. Because despite this has the better quality, though, this basically of how I wanted to come by for this as well. Okay, so yeah, the Sentai Filmworks release of Vampire Hunter D on Blu-ray they use the same artwork, just like the VHS I have right here. Yes, indeed. That's pretty much how they use it. Despite that, the VHS has the old English dub from Streamline Pictures on that one, but for the Blu-ray release of Vampire Hunter D on here, I think it has the new English dub from Sentai Filmworks, but this also includes its original Japanese with English subtitles. If you want to watch something better in Japanese, though. And yes, Vampire Hunter D was shown on Cartoon Network's Saturday Japanimation one, or is it Sci-Fi Channel? Yeah, I think it was. It may shown on Night of the Vampire Robots. When it was shown on Cartoon Network back in '95, where it has alongside with other ones like Robot Carnival and Vampire and Twilight of the Cockroaches on here. And also, it was originally shown on the Sci-Fi Channel back in the 90s. Didn't you know that? Just to give you a little facts on this as well. Especially if you're ever going to start doing like a Vampire Hunter D marathon, basically, after you read the first novel of how this was adapted from, particularly, of how I consider the fact. Then again, necessarily of how I can do this. And this is basically one of those anime films that receiving like a cult classic favorite as well. But no, not necessarily movies in general, but one of those had received like a cult following though. And on top of that as well, it's gotten to a point though is that where I felt of how I can do this, of how I wanted to discover something as well. Yeah, especially if you ever want to like, well, they're like, when I was going to look for this as well, and no wonder why that Vampire Hunter D and Bloodlust were also available in these like bootleg sets on DVD as well. Like, there are many obvious bootleg ones as well, especially like the ones that are only in Japanese, but only sometimes it has it in English dub, but there's ones in Japanese, but there's mostly with English and Chinese subtitles, especially those on these bootleg sets. Which it does remind me, I gotta get back to do the discussion on the guide to bootleg anime DVDs once I get more anime bootleg DVDs just to do for the discussion video of it. That's a subject for another time. But anyways, for overall, there's also the Steelbook edition of Vampire Hunter D, also from Sentai Filmworks. If it's online or something like that, I'm not sure particularly of how I can, if I can be asking, if I may ask though, particularly of how I can notice. Just to consider the fact of how I have picked something from the vampires depicting in horror, especially if it's in movies, television. There's also in some spook cartoons, especially like the spook, not necessarily like the how I have in particular, like the cartoon ones are only like spooky stuff for kids on there. But there's also anime. Also, if I can remember though. And the thing is that once you noticed of how I can realize the thing though is that from what I notice of how of all sorts, yeah, because ever since I got this Blu-ray copy of Vampire Hunter D on Blu-ray, there is also the Steelbook edition. I'm not sure if I can upgrade to get those Steelbook editions or not, but I can keep. I thought this is a nice Blu-ray set on there. Yeah. And this is also presented in by 1080p high definition quality 4:3 format on there. Yep, because it's approximately about 80 minutes for this one. Yeah. This is the good quality if you have this on Blu-ray. Despite though that most of the standard definition Blu-ray releases on there have like these good, better quality of, unlike the standard DVD releases in general. as from what I understand why. I wonder why, if the original Vampire Hunter D will ever pick up a 4K Ultra HD release under Sentai Filmworks as well. We'll see if Sentai Filmworks will attempt to release a 4K Ultra HD release on here. I guess in the same way how most movies were picked up on 4K Ultra HD releases on here. Excuse me. Which it does remind me, I might get back into the discussion about upgrading to Blu Ray 4K Ultra HD releases. If I can find a movie on 4K Ultra HD release. That'll be a topic for another time. So, yeah. Because I wanted to discover the facts of how... Yeah. Because I think I got this on a while back on Amazon online back in, like, last year, though. And I also did my anime and manga unboxing haul video from Amazon also, if I'm not mistaken, also, as well. Just to consider how I wanted to realize this at one take as well. I mean, the screenshots on the back of the Blu-ray, they're basically screenshots of the anime film. Yeah. Unlike this old VHS edition of Vampire Hunter D, there's only a couple of screenshots on the back on here. Same goes the spine on the VHS on here. But on the spine of the Blu-ray release of the Vampire Hunter D movie on Blu-ray, it has the Toho company logo, if you can take notice of that. But I just love the artwork. I mean, it was a fantastic, like, grotesquely foreboding dark artwork on there, just to give it a little, like, a foreboding feel what the artwork looks on there, because I found it, like, very unique as well. Because I think I enjoy this unlike most of the anime movies in general. So this explains why as well. And yeah. Sorry, I was a little tired. And also, the original Vampire Hunter D movie also got a Laserdisc release on there. Like, one of those, like, Japanese releases on Laserdisc, which is mainly in Japanese, but with no subtitles on here, which is the most common thing, though. Well, there are many obvious ones as well, in case you're wondering, of how I could come by for this as well. And the thing is that I have been realizing about that. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little tired though. Because I might as well upload the video later after I take a nap as well. Because if I was a little tired though. Yeah, so if you haven't own the Blu-ray release of Vampire Hunter D on Blu-ray, I highly recommend you to pick this up on Blu-ray, because you could get this under Amazon Prime if you get it on Amazon online. Hey, I got this through Amazon Prime, which I think it came really fast when it comes to ordering something through Amazon Prime, though. And also, there is also the Manga UK VHS release of Vampire Hunter D on VHS, also in the United Kingdom on VHS on there, which I think it may have the old English dub from Streamline Pictures, as well, if in case you're wondering why. Especially to most of them. Which it does remind me, I gotta get back to do some discussions on the guide to the bootleg DVDs of anime. Same goes with upgrading to Blu-rays, 4K, Ultra HD releases. Those are the two ones as well. At this point. So, despite though that I wanted to do this, you can watch this for free on YouTube, or if you own it on Blu-ray, if you have it in your anime collection though, you could get this also on Right Stuff Online, because I highly recommend you if you order it on Right Stuff Online though as well. In case you're wondering why. Yeah, I might as well put the novel back into that shelf here. Yes. I might as well plan to read the novel, and I might do I might plan to review one of the Vampire Hunter D novels in the future, at one point as well. That's why I had to do this one as well. So that's going to be it for my discussion, where I'm doing the VHS Blu-ray comparison of Vampire Hunter D for this video, in the spirit of Halloween, you guys. Thank you for watching, but before we go, here's what I'm going to say for this video. Well, this is the first time I wanted to do like a Blu-ray VHS comparison of this as well. Despite that my VCR died and unfortunately it no longer works. I don't know why, because I'm afraid I cannot take the risk of putting this on my old VCR, because I don't want that VCR to damage the film, otherwise I would lose the tape. So I just kind of like keep the tape on there, might as well hold on to it, because it's a collector's item, that's why. But good thing I had to upgrade this to the Blu-ray, which is a good thing, that's why. You can't go wrong with that, because why not? I love Blu-rays. Which reminds me, I might do a discussion on Blu-ray, upgrading to Blu-rays after you hold on to your VHS tapes in the nearest future, which is almost devoted exclusively to do a discussion about upgrading movies to Blu-ray, 4K, Ultra HD releases as well. Once I get back to that one as well. Subscribe for content. My Anime Planet link in the description down below. If you want to check out my Anime Planet, the link will be in the description down below, because I have a huge backlog of manga and anime on my Anime Planet account also as well. And if you want to check out my Patreon, link will be in the description down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below on this video if you like as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Let me know if you like as well. Smack the like button if you enjoyed this video. Be sure to click on the subscribe button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, especially if you're new to my channel as a newcomer. Or if you haven't watched my channel, though, as a newcomer, though. Smack the notifications bell button. Be sure to get notified also as well for more latest updates on here as well. And that's all I have, what I got for today. Well, come to think of it, this is the first time I wanted to do like a VHS Blu-ray comparison video. Despite that, I had to upgrade this to get the Blu-ray edition, because I think this is like a good, proper upgrade to get this on Blu-ray. So that's a good... Well, that is a good thing to start upgrading to Blu-rays, though. As well. I guess in the same way how others have been upgrading movies to Blu-rays and 4K Ultra HD releases. Which it does remind me, if I can ever find... I might try to find a certain movie that I can upgrade to those 4K Ultra HD releases. Which I might plan on a discussion for the 4K, upgrading Blu-ray 4K Ultra HD releases on there in the nearest future. At one point. In case you're wondering why. This is Rurouni K95 saying, thank you for watching my video. I'm glad you liked it. I hope you enjoy it. Hope to see you soon for the next video. Hope you have a great day. This is Rurouni K95 signing off, and thank you for watching my video, and I will see you soon for more videos. Take care. Bye.